Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another session of IndieX 2023. For those who've just joined, we are showcasing the best indie games by participants from all around the world. And for this upcoming hour, we'll dive into Knight versus Giant, the Broken Excalibur, a fast-paced action roguelite with a charming art style that creates an unforgettable adventures. Joining me today, I will have the project manager, Raka. Hello, Raka. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you feeling today?
Hi Anna, hi everyone. Thank you so much. I'm feeling really excited about the game, and yeah, it's been like a great fun since we released the game.
Yeah. Well, before talking about this fantastic game, I would love to hear a little bit more about your role in the team as the project manager, because I can believe that it's really challenging to work at Gambir Studio and to manage this project in specific.
Yeah. So basically, like my title say, I manage the project in terms of the work that needs to be done, and also the things, the timeline scale, as well as the scope of the game. And well, thankfully, we are a smaller studio. We have only like, so it's not like that that many people that need to be coordinated.
Yeah.
But because this is our first big scale game, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of learnings to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I help everyone keep them on track. Also, make sure that all the work that needs to be done are done.
Yeah, and you managed to do it at least pretty well. You came together for Knight versus Giant, the Broken Excalibur. Should we jump to the game
Thank
itself
you.
and talk a little bit more about it?
Sure, sounds great.
Okay, let's head into it. How did you come up with this idea? Firstly.
Okay, so an interesting trivia is that one of our coworkers actually made a similar game back in Flash,
Oh.
the Flash that you can play on web. It's all like 10 years ago. It was also Knight versus Giant, and the co-founders wanted to remake it, but back then we were new, so through making other games, smaller games, and now that we have the experience and also the know-how about the industry and
Yeah.
game publishing as well, that we decided that this is like time to remake the game. So yeah,
Okay.
basically it was a remake, and we created this version. We wanted to integrate a bit more story into it. So we look into the legends and the mythologies we know, and we think that Korean legend is a good fit
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, and I really wanted to talk about inspiration here because I am a huge fan of the Arthurian myth. Why this
Oh, thank you.
thematic, and what's different? Because there are different projects, different works that really explore this thematic. So, what's different in your take of this myth, and why?
Yeah. So that's the exciting part about myths and legends. It's that they are still evolving up until today. Because back in the day, as you know, like myths are stories that people tell mouth to mouth before there were
Hmm.
internet, before there were the press. So there are different versions of the different myths. And for us, we think the Arthurian legend is very inspiring because like there's a lot of intrigue of knightly figures, especially
Yeah.
King Arthur himself. So that's what we do take and develop on our own as well. So it's like uh, we're take the inspiration of King Arthur, but we're not adapting any particular story,
Okay.
but instead we wanted to like keep the legend going until the 21st century. And who knows, maybe in
Yeah.
the future will be another version
Ooh.
of the legend of King Arthur, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I really get excited when I do see different interpretations of the myth, and this is some what really came into my attention is because as a player you take the role of King Arthur, um,
Yeah.
but you chose to do a roguelite. So for those at home who are not familiarized with roguelike style, how would you explain them how this works, basically?
Right. Basically, in roguelite, typically the player is not expected to finish the game in one run
Yeah.
because there are main parts in roguelite. The first part is when you go to the dungeon and you do combat, you fight monsters and stuff. You try to get them. Typically, you will fight time, and then you come back, and then you have the progression layer in which you can upgrade your characters to be stronger, to get more abilities using the currencies and the power ups that you find in the dungeon. But when you go back in the dungeon, uh, usually the power ups that you get during the previous run is restarted to zero, except for very few. So it's really challenging to keep going
Yeah.
as far as you can to try like, okay, just one more, maybe I can get further this time. But even if you fail, you get
Yeah.
to take back and your character as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What I find really also really interesting is going a little bit back to Arthur, to Merlin. This
Yeah.
beginning, the characters do have a lot of personality. So
You died.
yeah, the characters really do have lots of personality. How did you thought about this? How did you thought about giving this fresh take of Merlin, of Arthur, and especially doing this in a roguelite? How does this also help you to tell the story?
Yeah, of course. Basically, we're working with our narrative designer called Sasha from Interactive. That's the writing guild. And basically, why we choose to use this mythology is because we have several very prominent figures that we believe we can tie into the themes of roguelite. First, Peter as the hero, but also Merlin, because in roguelites typically there has to be some sort of reason why the hero can go and can go into the dungeon again, FL. And here we use the fame of Merlin as this all powerful wizard. Not all powerful, but he's known to be very powerful in the Arthurian legend. And in this part of the story, he's the one who revived Arthur after like the giant just demolished Camelot.
Yeah.
And they also have the other Knights of the Round Tables who see as like good options for the ones who give their blessings, their powers. So like the knights have their own powers, and as you know, there are a lot of knights of the round table, so we can use however many we need to power Arthur. And when he is like dead, he can be brought back by Merlin. So basically, that's how we decided on the Arthurian legend, because we have the characters needed to really make the genre works.
And a lot to go on, a lot of things that you can explore.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about the art here, and how what did you think, or what did you thought was important creating the visual of this game as well?
Right. Basically, for this roguelite, we wanted to make it approachable to the generations. So to make the game's art style still look clean, polished, but it's not too dark, but not too neat or not too anime. So we in a balance that we believe accessible to people. It's also influenced by myths that are making the Arthurian legend. So like there's a slight Western edge to it. The art style. But for we wanted to make it looks clean and it's going on, especially when you have like enemies, to make sure that people can still clearly happening on screen.
Yeah, I think as you can see here, I think it's pretty clean, and you get the feeling that everything is, that you can clearly see how it goes. What I want to reach, because I have already played, is this, and this is one of the things that I found the most interesting things, which is it's not that usual that in this type of roguelites that you have giants, and these boss battles are giants.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's really Anna. Yeah, basically we made the bosses as giants. It's also one way to like choose from other genre.
Yeah.
But we believe roguelite is a genre that is focused on making the accomplished, right? When
Yeah.
you can get further in the route, they can
Mm-hmm.
you difficult boss. So that's why we believe when bosses that are like giants, much bigger than the player,
Yeah.
than Arthur, even more like fun, and it was triumphant. You finally can beat the giant.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was when the first time I got to this first part of the tutorial, I got really like surprised in a good way, because I wasn't expecting this huge boss. I wasn't expecting, and I was trying. I was honestly trying to kill it, and then okay, no, I'm not supposed to. Yeah, this is a roguelite. This is not gonna work.
Yeah,
um,
but I think it like see it already in the first part. It makes you like wonder and want to
yeah.
finally take down the giant, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. Is it possible to kill the giant in the tutorial?
Well, it was before we believe to make the game simpler. I think right now, but I will
Okay.
be happy to be if anyone out there wants to
Okay.
challenge the giant.
This is a good challenge. So if you actually get to this game and get to fight and to defeat the first boss on the tutorial,
Right.
please let them know, because and me also. I'm really curious about this one as well. Now, roguelites, as you explained, there are lots of abilities, lots of things to take account of, and it's probably really hard to make sure all the options that you can select can combine properly with all the others, and that have an identity related to the knights. Probably tell me a little
Yeah.
bit more about the challenge of making sure that everything fits together.
Yeah, that's really interesting because as you mentioned, like since we have the Arthurian legend as the story, we also want to make sure that we pay honor to the original
Yeah.
legend. First, the thing with mythologies and legends are that they are usually quite interpretation,
Yeah.
even for the like original versions of the myths, like hundreds of years ago. There are several things saying the like Merlin is tricky, Merlin is loyal, even things like that are
Yeah.
like variable in legends.
Yeah.
Actually, when we created these different powers for Arthur and his knights, to first we want to make them all good and varied in the gameplay sense that of the options of different play styles. So we started from very big, like descriptors like
Mm-hmm.
balance, range, speed,
Yeah.
critical, poison. Yeah, and then after that, as we develop the specific powers, blessings, we are also into which knights have like stories or tales or personalities that fit into these swords or abilities. Of course, it's not always a perfect one-to-one match,
Yeah.
but I believe that's also like the fun part because try to create a new version of the legend. We try to develop it so it can like even survive to the 21st century, but while still like respecting
Yeah.
the original roots as well.
It does. It does. At least it's the feeling that I've got. You have lots of things here. So you have Excalibur. You have the all the knights. You have Morgana. You have Merlin. And one of the people that are here on chat were really surprised that Merlin always sounds somewhat startled the whole time. Let's talk a little bit about voice acting of this particular game. And
Sure. Mm.
I think it's gorgeous. It's funny. It's different. It's fresh.
Ah. Thank you. So yeah, basically the idea of acting actually comes a little later in the production, in the development. Uh, we it also comes from our publisher, well, from us and them. So we talk a lot about whether or not we wanted voice acting, because as you know, in the game, especially Light, it's not often that you see you have voice
Yeah,
acting. But because this is relatively narrative, I wouldn't say heavy, but it's a important aspect of the game. So we good voice acting, it really elevate the story and can make it
it can.
more, yeah, it can make it more interesting to players. And yeah, so we found a balance that we decided to have Merlin and Arthur to be the voice character. There are a lot of characters here, but they are basically like the main characters, like really in the heart of the story. And of course, you spend a lot of time with Arthur to make him like feel
Yeah,
really charming and we want the players to feel like having a lot of fun when they're playing with Arthur. That's why we decided to have voice acting.
yeah, yeah, and it does have it does add a little touch, a different touch to the game. I have selected these ones on my first playthrough, so Lancelot's weapon and this little slicing orbit as my skill. I feel fantastic that you have different things and different builds to go with.
Yeah,
Apart from the random ones that you encounter throughout the game, so you can always in each run try to go in with something that you actually can control and that you can feel that it works for you. How what was important? This is something really important for you in terms of design, right?
yeah, definitely, yeah.
um
So mm,
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, so basically, uh, we wanted to have a selection of styles for the players to choose. So, like you mentioned, uh, even though each knight has their own sword and their own skill, but you can and match them. So maybe you
Yeah,
like Lancelot's skill, but you prefer Bord's sword. Then you can mix and match them and find the right play style for you. As for me personally, I think it adds a lot of variety to the
yeah,
game because you're not with one play style, and sometimes it's a lot of experimentation to
yes,
find the style that works for you. Uh, and basically, the most important thing for us is, other than to make each style is like pretty effectively, so that balance, but that they're also fun and they have like different satisfaction that
yeah.
comes from using them. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most important things in roguelites is to have that kind of variety and that kind of experimenting, because it's important. You are always dying, so and you it's not supposed to be something really frustrating where you
yeah,
just want to go. So it's kind of fun. At least for me, this is one of the main reasons that I enjoy roguelites, is that I can, okay, let me try this out. If it doesn't work, it's fine. I will die, I'll just go back again and I will learn something with this anyway. um and I think that it can work pretty well. Again, this
thank
is the
you.
demo that everyone can get on Steam, right?
Yes.
Um,
It's also available on iPhone as well. I mean the demo and the game. Yeah.
yes, this is just the demo version. But if everyone that's here watching doesn't is quite unsure if they should buy or not, you can always try it out. And I think it's really fun and it gets you the general feeling. And I think you can get a little bit addicted to it and buy it eventually. But
Thank you so much.
but that's the really. Oh, I never got this one, this toxic sprout. Hmm.
Yeah, you should try it out.
Yes, I will go with this. I will go with this, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna try it out. So it is an active, right?
Yes.
And you have to. Okay. Oh, thank you, Merlin.
Very helpful.
Yes.
If they were not, it would not be possible for them.
It's as we were saying before, the voice acting really gives this game a touch, a really interesting touch, and really unique touch. Okay, let's try it out. L1. Oh, but I should. Please tell me that I didn't lose the power forever.
No, I think you just need to recharge it.
Okay. Should be fine. Should be fine. Let's talk a little bit about the mobs, the design, the combat design of this game.
Yeah.
And the general. We talked a little bit about boss fights because they are giants, but here you encounter lots of different mobs.
Yes.
What can you tell us about it?
Yeah. Basically, when we design the mobs, we try to make different challenges to the players so that they cannot just like fight them the same way. Sorry. So basically, there are mobs that will charge right at you, that will jump onto you, and there are mobs who are shooting range projectiles as well. So we want to like mix it up and have the players learn about their attack patterns and know how to best approach them. Because if you're not being careful, you can easily like get taken down by the mob. And of course, since this is a roguelite, you will see like the mobs a lot of times. So we wanted to have a good amount of different mobs as well, so that the players still feel like surprised or at least challenged when they walk into a room and they see the mobs that's on in that room in particular. Yeah.
And different types of combination. Right now, here we have a fountain. I'm not going to use it yet because I'm full health. It's important in a roguelite to have this kind of room. So the rooms spawn randomly, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, basically we are using procedurally generate maps. So what it means is that we have like an inventory rooms and how they connect, but each time you go into Didian, it's never like located precisely at the same location. So that's why even if you go again and again, the layout will change and you will find new challenges, and hopefully it will make the game like always fun to play. And like you said, it's just like, oh, let's see what kind of rooms I will encounter this time.
And in this room, we do have an ally. So someone that's going to join us permanently in the camp, which is pretty nice. One thing that I would love to talk about is the way that you can actually go back to previous rooms. Because in some roguelites you are not able to do it. Why did you choose to do it like this?
Yeah, I think partially it's because we want to add another layer of strategy to the game. Because, like you said, sometimes the fountain, which can restore your health, or my merchant who can sell you, but maybe you don't need them right now. Like maybe you don't have enough money to save. Your health is full, like you mentioned just now. As a layer of strategy, like when should the player to a room, or maybe should use the fountain right now. But what if they like lose their health later on? Then there will be no more fountain. It's just another layer of strategy. That's the thing about, and they have to like increase their skill on how they these rooms.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. It's a nice touch because you have some more freedom to choose and to use your resources, because the fountain room appeared and it would be a shame because probably I will need it later. So yes, here you have one of the knights, so basically their own blessings and their own skills, like we have already mentioned. What I'm saying, I'm skipping here a bit the dialogue so people can go and check the skills themselves. And
Yes, and they can read the dialogue for their own when they try the
yes,
game as well.
yes, exactly. So let's pick one. I mean, let's talk about them first. And you're then gonna help me choose, if that would be all right with you, Raka.
Sure. Yeah, sounds great. So basically, how we approach blessings, or they're basically like power-ups in this game. When you find a knight statue, you will find 3 options are randomized. They're based on the knights that have their skill with you. So for this example, since you have Lancelot, you have his skill with you, his sword with you, so you get 3 options power up or further. So basically, sometimes they increase the stats of the sword pretty like straightforward, like the critical damage or chance or the attack speed or the damage. Other times they extra effects for the sword. For example, maybe they will like off thing or they have other effects that you can find out. But it depends on how to play. Some people might like to like the attacking speed all the time, while others like to have different effects or like to increase the attack. So that's how we approach blessings. And as for this one, well, it's basically depends on how you usually like to play this. How do you play Lancelot?
It's well, usually on roguelites, I do love to experiment, as
Right.
I told you before. So I always like to, in my first runs,
Yeah.
I like to take everything that I haven't taken before. Usually, this
Okay.
is the way I usually approach this, so I can know the most that I can, and then start building and start strategizing with the ones that I like the most. Because sometimes I get surprised with the ones that I don't pick that much. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to take this electrical bolts. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I think that's a good choice because you can see how it works with your skill as well. Basically, in this game, like I mentioned, you have the sword and skill, right? So it's a combination of using both at the right time to like take down the enemies and take down the boss on. So for this, in particular, experience mobs because like you can extra damage while you're attacking the enemy that is right in front of you.
Yeah, you can see the thunder, the lightning there, striking them and getting that little bit of extra damage, and I find it really satisfying. I love different effects and things. Probably not the best or the more efficient ways, but it's the most satisfying way. That at least it's what I think. Now, critical damage, critical chance, or damage after dash. I'm gonna take the dash one because I'm always dodging, always dashing.
Maybe I'd like to talk a little bit about dashing as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, dashing is like a mobility option that we have. Other than walking, he can dash or roll. You can always also say. Basically, it's a way not only to move quickly, but it also has like small invincibility if you time it. You can the damage from the enemies. So incorporate it to several blessings, like the one that Anna just got. That it increases your power after dash. Uh, uh, it's something that we observe in a lot of different roguelites, and it's also fun because it adds another layer on whether or not you should avoid the enemy, you should take them ahead, or should you just walk. Yeah, that's another option for you to play with.
Okay, yeah. I love dashing. I usually I'm always doing this. It's one of the things about this kind of games. I would love I would love to talk a little bit more about inspiration and what other roguelites you have used or that you get inspiration from.
Sure. So basically, for people who are used to play genre, they might have noticed that our biggest inspiration is actually Hades,
Yeah.
Super Giant, and yeah, our team also loves it. I really like it a lot. I finished it like on Switch, buy it for PC again because it's a lot of fun to play.
It is.
But we also pull from other titles such as Dreamscape, and even from older titles like Binding of Isaac. Basically, we try out different games to which ones we can adapt into the game, which ones for us, and of course we try to also add new aspects to the game as well, so we don't just copy them wholesale. Yeah, but we improve on them, and if possible, if not, at least we try to make it like unique with the art class, our own game design.
Yeah. Yeah, here we
Yeah.
have a little bit about these items that you can buy. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, basically, this merchant uses the currency, the purple orb. We call them soul orb that you only find on runs, and you lose them once you of the dungeon. It's also a way to Arthur. We have the potion which heals because roguelites it's rare.
Yeah.
Opportunity to heal, and the next token will give you a random blessing, while the other ones like give you different effects as well. And the item also randomized, except for the first two. So
you can always get a potion and a knight's token whenever
true.
You go to a merchant. Okay, this is a way of always getting a little bit stability. Because it would be sad that you got to a merchant and you didn't have the opportunity to buy something important for your run. Yeah. I'm going to
always
to I just bought the random. I did. Okay, here I can navigate through my buffs. I got +4 HP. This is pretty cool. I like HP.
Yeah, it's like very precious resource in roguelites because basically you don't often get, so more HP is always good.
The fountain heals for how much? Can you tell me this?
Yeah, currently it heals you to full health.
Oh, to full health. So I'm not gonna come here yet. I still have lots of health to try another room, I think, before the boss fight. There were some people here on chat talking about the way that this combat seems so fluid. And it's something that it really feels fluid, as it's not just what it looks like when you're seeing. When you're playing, it does look fluid. Tell me a little bit about the movements and what you try to achieve here in terms of the gameplay, the movement itself, the dashes, everything in between.
Yeah, basically we want to make the player always feel in control of Arthur and how he moves, and it should feel like responsive, and you can move in a like very fluid and very fast way. That's always our concern because basically when you go into the game, most of the time you spend will be fighting enemies, right? So if it doesn't feel, we're afraid that people will just not enjoy the game. So that was like one of our big it's good in development as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, what I'm going to choose the cooldown so I can spam it a bit more.
Yeah.
I really love when I'm playing a game. I really love lots of things happening at the same time and me just smashing buttons. I think
That's definitely something you can do here.
Okay, so that seems like the boss fight. I'm gonna heal up, and
Right.
we're gonna get to it. Any
You can
tips?
also teleport.
Oh, yes, I can. That's right. This wasn't very smart of me. I completely forgot about that. Yes, you are completely right.
To introduce the feature because you can go back, so we made attention, so it's easier for people to just go back to the merchant or the fountain.
Yes. Let me see if I can still buy something else. I don't think I have enough soul shards. Is that the name of the currency?
Or
Soul orbs. No, I don't have enough soul orbs to buy power up, but I don't need it. I'm going to try and tackle the boss fight and finish this tutorial if I can. Let's see. I wanted to wait a little bit for the special ability to power up, but well, just let's head into this. Oh, it's a different one.
This is actually the mini boss, because on the first floor of every dungeon you will find a mini boss first.
Oh.
On the second floor you will find a giant.
Oh yes. That makes sense, yes. I didn't remember this.
Yeah. Basically we have like 3 mini bosses for the tutorial. Even if you replay them, you can encounter different mini boss with different strategies.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, this one, once again, this I probably make it sound easy for the people that are watching, but I have played this already, okay? So you should definitely try it out because it's pretty fun. Pretty fun, and it's not as easy as it seems. It's challenging, but it's as we were discussing, the combat is pretty fluid. And it's very rewarding to, just play the combat and to keep on clearing the rooms and do this.
And there's a little secret because in the demo we make it a little easier for people to see what we have to offer. But in the full version, actually it's more challenging, especially with our practice that we've done. So yeah, feel like do it in the demo, try the full version as well, and see if it will surprise.
Yeah, okay, that explains a little bit, because one of the things that this is challenging for sure, but it seemed like a little bit easy, so that explains a lot if this is just the demo difficulty.
Yeah, that was the intention.
Yes, it makes sense, because there are lots of people that are not familiar with roguelites, and it can be frustrating to keep dying, because usually that's what you try not to do, and it doesn't mean that you don't try to do it here, but it can be frustrating to be dying all the time and don't have that sense of accomplishment of clearing the rooms and the floors.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see if the chat, I don't think that the chat has that many questions, but I do have a couple more questions for you. We've talked a little bit about the inspiration. I get really concentrated when I'm playing this kind of games.
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfectly normal.
But yeah, this kind of mobs, actually, when they die, when you kill them, they divide themselves into tinier mobs. Tell me a little bit more about that design choice.
Yeah, it's basically we want the player to keep them on their toes, and like they still have to be alert even when they feel like, oh, I've got this. But sometimes they rocks that they split into smaller rocks, and then they caught off guard, and then the battle begins even more difficult because you were not expecting them. Yeah.
Okay, here we have Morgana. Morgana is my favorite character from this legend. And this is, she does give you some kind of blessings, right?
Right.
But they have a catch.
Yes. See.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, basically Morgana is like one of the most famous Arthurian, and usually like this complicated figure, mysterious with connections to Merlin and Arthur, and that's why we believe that she's the person to implement this function. So basically, she will give you a blessing, but she will also give you a curse that goes with it. So it's up to you not to choose it, and it can really like your play style and your run as well, depending on the ones you got.
So this one, I got the faint-hearted, which increases the trap damage. This is cool if you want to pull mobs for the traps. Not so cool when you fall on traps yourself. So we do not have time. Our time, unfortunately, is coming to an end. However, I would love to wrap up this conversation by asking you, what would you highlight the most from this game, from your game?
Right. I believe this game, in its title, it's Knight versus Giant. We challenge you to prove your skill, your decision making, your hand-eye coordination, to see if you can like take down these scary giants. We only have one in the tutorial, but at least 3 in the full version.
Okay.
Maybe secret giant, who knows?
Okay.
And because like you can try out different styles, you will of times. But yeah, if yourself both by using the blessings, storing the kingdom, and get the upgrades from the civilians, but also by improving yourself by knowing the attack patterns, by getting better atting to the enemies and their styles and their attack. I think it'll be a very fun experience. Feel very accomplished when you take down the giant and restore Camelot. So we hope you will the game. Maybe it's already available there. And yeah, the full version is already out as well.
Yeah, I have a question here from chat that I've only noticed now. If you can, it's a really fast one. Are you able to reveal Arthurian characters that can be present here apart from the knights? You know, Mordred, the Lady of the Lake, something like Tristan, Oberon.
All right.
If you are able, of course.
Maybe not all of it. Basically, we incorporated text of the original Arthurian characters to the characters that we have in game. So it might not come with the same name, but if you are familiar with the legends, with the myths, you can notice that, oh, these are inspired by these other characters.
Okay.
And I think it will be a lot of fun to discover the influences on your own.
Okay. Before saying goodbye, is there any last message that you want to leave for everyone here watching, Raka?
Yeah, basically just, well, do you think you can take down the giant? Yeah, show it to us. Send your like screens to our social media, and well, I guess Camelot will have to be in ruins forever, and the Excalibur will be broken forever. I guess. Too bad.
You can always join on Discord, which is a really cool community. Raka, thank you so much for submitting this fantastic game to IndieX 2023. Thank you for being here with me today for such an incredible talk. And as for the ones staying, up next, we will be having a session about straight straight light. So after a short break, don't go anywhere.
Right. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Dek.